Hey guys, it's Jeff Lavery. I'm one of the founders of thecommongear.com, which is the site you've been visiting and also maybe checking out our YouTube channel. And it occurred to me, you don't really know the mission, why we're here, why we did this. And the reason is because, like many of you, I'm straight out obsessed with automobiles, motorcycles, boats, anything that goes fast. Now, my particular passion is the four-wheel kind. I am sitting in my garage right now where I've amassed a small assortment of vehicles that are, in my mind, pretty interesting, pretty cool, but all of them are a ton of fun to drive and have made some pretty great memories for me and my family. Now, the genesis of the Common Gear was based on the fact that my partner, John Cook, and I realized we're both pretty obsessive about maintenance tracking, storytelling, and building the digital portfolio of these cars that we own. Because even though we own them, there's a goal here of preserving their value, not losing value at the very least. Many gearheads like you and me, our goal is just to not lose a ton of money in this hobby, but it's kind of changed. Lately, people are trying to make money in this hobby, or at the very least, buy cars that will return on their investment when and if it comes time to sell. So the Common Gear is unique in that it is one of the only platforms out there that combines both the traditional social engagement, storytelling, project sharing, project posting that many sites have done in the past. But we also make it easy to save all of your records and tie it into that car's specific history. So if you notice, the site has a variety of buttons and features that allow you to scan and save your receipts, to make project updates, and also to store invoices that speak to major maintenance milestones in the history of that car. So our goal here is to give you a place that you can involve yourself in it to as high or low as a level as you like. You can remain completely in the background, and we have access control set into the site so you can limit who sees what you're doing to a car. So you may want to hold all that real close to yourself, and then when it comes time to sell, you can adjust the access controls so that you can share it with a specific member or a non-member, whatever the case may be. You'll have a URL that you can share to the outside world at your discretion with all of your updates, milestones, receipts, invoices, etc., all saved in one place. And that really gets around the issue that Carfax and other so-called history trackers have, in that they don't really show you the nitty-gritty granular details. And conversely, if you go to sell a car and someone questions, well, did you really do that engine rebuild? Did you really have the rust taken care of in the rockers? What have you? If you're diligent about it, like I am, and I'm sure many of you are just already doing this naturally, now you have a place to prove and demonstrate all the value you've added to a car in the time that you've owned it. And again, many of us aren't thinking about long-term ROI, but it is nice to know that if you do go to sell what could be considered a collector or a vintage vehicle that has a following, you can now easily point to all the work you've done and leave no question about the fact that the asking price you've assigned to it is at the very least in keeping with current values according to major pricing guides, but maybe even higher because you've done more than the traditional owner would have done. So often we see on the major auction platforms that someone says, well, I did all this work, or I had all this work done. There's no invoice. The record is lost. That vanilla folder that we've held on to for so long goes missing at just exactly the wrong time. So the Common Gear is a place where you can come, you can easily store your records in a digital format, you can share it with the outside world if you want, or you can make it as public as I do, which is to show people what things cost, what it required to fix that persistent oil leak that turned out to be a head gasket failure. Why, when you see someone who says, oh, the car just has a little bit of rust in it, it actually costs a lot of money to fix a little bit of rust. So these details are great for the wider community at large to show that not only are you adding value to a car every time you make or change or fix an issue, but it's also reminding folks that to take care of a car properly is not cheap. So anyone lowballing you or kicking the tires and questioning about the why your asking price is what it is can really look at the records now and see, well, you really did put a lot into it. So all that is to say, I wanted to welcome you here. I would love for you to stick around, start sharing updates of your own. I'd love it if you started storing your records with us. We'll keep them safe, secure, it's locked down, backed up, and best of all, there's a pretty long runway before you hit any sort of size limitations or restrictions. And so we're keeping it free and accessible to anyone who wants to use it. So it's a great time to get in, start using the Common Gear as we've done it since the start, which is to store your records, share your updates, and really track your vehicle's history from start to finish, so that whether it's just for your own satisfaction and enjoyment, or it's time to sell that car and drive maximum value when it comes to asking for top dollar, all that evidence lives here. And best of all, because it lives with a assigned VIN number, which is your car, it can transfer to the next owner. So that car's history will live on. It won't simply die with the one guy who kept all the records and didn't give it to the next owner. That car can continue to build that story and continue to show value for the next owner, assuming they take care of it the same way you have. So check it out, use it. We'll post more how-to videos in the coming weeks so that you can really understand where we're coming from, and hopefully we can get some feedback from you as to what works, what doesn't. The site is not an app just yet, but it is mobile optimized. So you can be out in the garage, working on the car, doing a brake job, whatever, take pictures, and it's very easy to upload via your mobile device once you have an account and you're registered with us. So if you have any questions at all, you can reach me at Jeff, Jeff, at thecommongear.com. And we also have a variety of places on the site where you can click for help, and those emails and messages will go right to one of us as the administrators. But I hope you check it out. I hope you like it. And thanks for coming here. Please stick around, and we'll be back in touch soon. Take care.